So you should please pay attention. The teacher has started talking. 好，上课。Oh, you need this one turned off? Okay. Okay, so can we all be quiet? Just listen? Okay. Okay, can we all look at me? We all ready? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to teach you about APA style or what's the purpose of APA style. The first thing that you need to know is if you go to this website, it's very helpful for you because it can tell you everything that you need to know about APA style. I only have a little bit over an hour, so I cannot tell you everything today. I can only tell you a little bit. So what I'm going to do is try my best to give you the basics for the kinds of things that you may need to cite, which means let someone know when they're reading your paper where you got your information from. So that's what I'm going to show you today. The first thing is with APA style, we need to start out by having a title page. And let me explain the purpose of having a title page. The reason that we need to have a title page is it all goes back to being fair in grading. A teacher to be fair in grading. Let me explain why. If we have a title page and the teacher gets your essay, well actually what the teacher can do is the teacher can remove your title page, take it away, and then grade your essay. If your essay is typed without a title page, without your name, so then the teacher will not know who you are. So if that teacher particularly likes certain students or particularly dislikes other students, it won't make a difference. Because why? Because that teacher won't know whose paper they're grading. Okay, that's the first purpose of a title page. And I will explain later how a teacher could match the title page up with the paper later. But that's the main purpose. So let me show you first of all what a title page should look like. Let's see if we can look here and find a good example. Let me try again. What if I hit no? Should I hit no? Okay. So this can show you some sample of a title page, and it has some information here. You don't have to make a title page that's so complicated as this one. But basically, the only thing that you need on the title page is the title of your paper, your name, and your institution. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So the first thing that you need to do is you have to center. Do you see that? Center your title page. Okay, you hit there on Microsoft Word, it will center it for you. So what is the title of I asked you to write reflections, right? So what is the title of your reflection? Everybody shouldn't have the same title. Everybody should have a different title. Because that's your paper, that's your reflection. So you should have, everybody should have a different title, not the same title, okay? So I'm going to give what was the last talk we listened to? What was it about? It was about what? Hotel bills, okay? So if I wanted to just make a title, I will make a title about hotel billing. So maybe I would just say, okay, that's my title. Your title might be different. Your title might be learning about hotel billing, learning about bills. I learned something about bills, what I got from the talk about billing. Everybody should have a different title. It shouldn't be everybody has the same title. Then on the next line, before we go to the next line, we have to make sure in APA style everything should be double spaced. So let's see, where do we go to double space? Because my computer is different and it's in Chinese. So can somebody tell me where to go for double space? Where should I go? 这个吗？这个是 this? Okay, for the paragraph. Alright. This is a normal way. This is 1.5 and this is double. Okay, so let's double space. Okay. Now we're double spaced. But we're not centered anymore, so I need to get back to centered. Okay, now we need to put what did I say was next? Next is our name. So we type our first name and our last name. So for you guys, you could just type, if you want to type in English, you can type in English. If you want to type this part in Chinese, you can type it in Chinese. It's okay. Well, because I want to know who you are, right? So I want to know who you are. So I'm going to ask you to do a special thing here, is that you usually don't do, but I'm going to ask you to do it here, which is to put your ID number. Usually we don't put ID number there, but I want especially to double check, because there's too many students in the class. So I need the ID number there. It's faster to look for number than name, right? So this is a special thing. Okay, so ID number. And then the next thing is your institution. Your institution is the school that you go to. So we need to type our school's name. This doesn't all look double spaced. So I want to go back and confirm that it's double spaced. Make sure everything is double spaced. Oh, that looks good. That's double spaced. All right. Another thing you need to know about is you want your first page, your title page, to look like this information is centered on the page. But actually, we don't actually put it in the actual center, because when we look at a paper, if something is really, because of our eyes, if it's really in the actual center, we will think it appears as if it's actually lower than centered. So what we usually do is we leave it a little bit higher than centered, and then it will actually look centered. So what you can do is maybe put about 3, 4, 5 spaces at the top here, and that will make sure when I get your paper, it will kind of look in the center, okay? So that's the first thing we need to do with APA style. We have a cover page. Now we need to add something to our cover page that's called a running head. A running head. The purpose of the running head is so that if a teacher got your paper, immediately what they could do is they could remove the cover page, and then they have your paper, which still has the running head on it. And what the running head has your title. So that's why everybody needs a different title, right? So then the teacher can grade without your cover page, grade without having any influence of, I know who you are, so I might give you a better score because you are very hardworking in the class, or I know you, we have a personal relationship. So if the cover page is taken off, then the teacher just grades it, and then later after the grade is there, they can find the cover page, put it back, and they match the cover page to the paper with the running head. Okay? And the running head is actually your title. The first 50 characters of your title. How do we create a running head? It's very simple. We just double click with our mouse. Clicking 2 times at the top of our paper. Oh, why does this doesn't work? Because this is an old version of Microsoft Word. Okay, so we actually have to go to look for the header. It's this one, right? I don't understand what you're saying. H? Okay, there, okay. So we get the header. Alright. Because this is an old version of Microsoft Word, so it's a little bit different than mine. Okay, so we have to type the word running head. And have two spaces. The R in running is capitalized, the H is not capitalized. And then we need to place the first 50 characters of our title there. The easiest way is just we can copy and paste. Can I get there? Now I can get there and paste it. Okay? But we don't want it to be centered. We want to make it right justified. Make it right justified. You know, so this is left. This is middle, center. So this is centered, and this is right. We want it to be right, okay? And we need to insert a page number after this. So maybe add some spaces, maybe five spaces there, and then we need to insert a page number. You see here, page number? Okay, now it will automatically on every page put the page number. It will automatically on every page put your running head. So, as I said before, that prevents the teacher from being biased in their grading. Okay? So now we need to go to the next page to start our paper. Okay? So, excuse me. So I want to insert a page break to go to the next page. But I have no idea how to do that with with this computer. Where? Somebody tell me. I need to insert a page break. Insert? This one? Yeah, fine, yeah. Yes. Okay, there we go. Page break. Now we go to the next page. Yay, we're on the next page. Now we can start to write our paper. I asked you to have 3 sections in your paper, right? 3 sections. So the first section is what I learned before. Alright, so we have 4 sections. What I learned before, what I learned during, what I learned after, and the references. Okay, so what I learned before. Let me explain the content that you need to put what I learned before, what needs to be inside. What I learned before is what you knew about the topic before the person came and talked to you. Okay? What I learned during is what you learned while the person was talking. What you got from the talk. Wow. Whatever you learned during the talk, from listening to the speaker, that is what I learned during. What I learned after is nothing to do with the talk. Nothing. Do you understand? Absolutely nothing. Where does the information come from where I learned after? You go on the internet, you read magazines, you watch videos, you do something by yourself. So this is what I already knew. This is what the person taught me. Okay? This is what I taught myself. not what the person taught you. Do you understand? That's the points we need to put in. Now I'm going to teach you how we do something called in-text citation and also our references. Our references go on a separate page, so I already need to insert another page break. No. How did I do that? This one? And no? What did I do earlier? Was this what I did? Oh, here. Okay. We want our references on a separate page, we want our paper on one page, and we want our title page on one page. Okay, so now we're writing our article. So we can leave those as headings. You can just leave it like this as a heading, okay? So it will be fine. But for each paragraph, we need to indent. Indent is pressing tab on your keyboard. Okay, that's indent, not this. No. Tab. Yes? No. Okay. Then you can start writing, okay? Okay, so you tell what you knew before. Oh, I don't know anything, or I knew very little. Or you might say, oh, I took a class before, I knew a lot about this. I didn't really learn much, blah, blah, blah. And then you tell what you learned during. Then you say, okay? Alright, so like that. So then you tell the things that you learned from her speech, okay? And then the last part, what I learned after. Okay, this is where you start to write about the things you did on your own, okay? So I'm going to show you that I imagine that I went on my own, because I asked you to choose 3, right? But I'm Haranjan, so I find 4. And I surfed on the internet and I found 4 different sources related to the topic, and I wanted to use them. Okay, so the first one is I found an article from a newspaper, the New York Times. And I read this article called Field, and then a bit more. Okay, I read the article, and I also read somebody's blog. Somebody wrote a blog, and they wrote something happened in their blog. So I also read this blog, and then I searched and I found this eHow article about paying hotel bills in Japan, and I learned something different about paying in Japan. And then the last is I watched a YouTube video. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to be able to show the teacher these 3 websites. What's the best way? So I need to first go down and put it in my reference list. I need to type the information in my reference list. So the first one is it's a newspaper article online newspaper article. So I can go to this website, And this website can tell me how to format my references. So I look here, they list all different kinds of references, but I just need to pay, because all of my references came from the internet, so I can just look for under electronic sources, right? Electronic sources. So I go here and click. Now I'm going to look and see, electronic sources means web publications. So what I'm going to look for is something about newspaper article. Article from an online periodical. Maybe this is it. This word means magazine. So let's go see if they say anything about article, newspaper article. Oh, they have one say newspaper article. Okay, and it says, it shows us the information we need to include for a newspaper article. We need the author's name, last name, comma, and their first and middle name initials. We need the year, the month, and the day. And we need the exact format, the title of the article, the title of the newspaper. Oh, the title of the newspaper needs to be in italics. Italics. And we need to use the word retrieved from, and also list the URL. Okay, so I always do this because, and this gives us an example of how we can do it. I always do this because I think it's easier for me. I will copy it. The format, did you see that? I just copied the format, and then I will paste it here. Oh, but it's not in the right font, because actually all the font needs to be the same. So I need to change the font. Is this where I can change the font? Yeah. Let's go ahead and change all the font right now. Everything should be in maybe Times New Roman and 12. Okay, now everything is formatted correctly. Yeah? Okay, so we need to add this information. So let's look at our source. Well, we know the title of the newspaper is the New York Times. So here is the title of the newspaper. So let me type the title of the newspaper. And there's a period after that, the New York Times. Okay, and we need to know the address. So address is here. Copy. And paste. Okay, and it's still Times New Roman, okay. And we need to know who is the author. Let's try to find the author. Oh, here, by. Okay, Christopher Elliott. So Elliott will be his last name, and Christopher is his first name, because Westerners, we always put Christopher first. Are you listening to something? Don't listen to something. You should be listening to me. So Christopher is the first name, and Elliott is the last name. All right. So. He doesn't have a middle name, so we can delete the middle name. No middle name. And let's see the date. July 12, 2005. Oh, it's old. 2005. July 12. And we need the title of the article. Build, and then a bit more. It's easy, you can just copy it. I want to paste it. Oh, it's not the right format. What should I do? Okay, just unbold it and make it 12. Okay, and okay, so now almost this format is almost complete, but For our references, we have to use something called a hanging indent. A hanging indent. So we need to highlight here. And let's see, where's our paragraphs again? Here? P. And then we need to choose this hanging indent. Oh, I'm so lihai. And then, ta-da! Hanging indent. Ta-da! Okay, that's hanging indent. Okay, so let's see our next one. Okay, this one is a blog. Blog. Everybody knows a blog, right? It's very popular before. So let's see, we go back to this website to see if it says something about blog. Blog. Not blog. So, this is the format for a blog. It says we need a name, the date, the title, and where it comes from. It says if the author's name is not provided, use a screen name. It's because sometimes people don't want to put their real name on the blog. So they pick a fake name so you can use a fake one. So let's copy this. Alright? Oh, but it's not in Times New Roman. We need to change it. Oops. Okay, let's see if we can get the information. Alright, so we need to see if we can see the guy's name. I see a lot of comments, but I don't know. Let's see if we can see his name somewhere. Oh, ta-da! This is his name. So let's just copy it. Is this copied?
Yeah.
In this situation,